Thanks to Surfshark for sponsoring this video. On today's episode of You Ask, when is it actually worth upgrading your TV? And will you notice a difference between some of LG's best OLEDs? Welcome back to the channel, everyone. This is You Ask, the show where we answer your tech questions. If you've got something you want to know, send your question in to youasked@digitaltrends.com, and don't forget to tune into the show to see if your question has been selected. Mitch has the first question and says, in response to a video about the QM6K, how does it look for a PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X from a gaming perspective? My main concern is it only having a 60 Hz port. I've got a Hisense that's 5 years old. I hate the colors on the screen. There's no VRR support. I felt like it was a bait and switch. The 55-inch model is $450 on Amazon for the TCL QM6K. Would someone recommend this or not? Okay, so that's the question as Mitch wrote it in, but I think there's a little bit of information mixed up in there. You mentioned a 60 Hz port, but the QM6K supports 4K gaming at 144 Hz, and it has two HDMI 2.1 ports. It would be great for supporting one or both gaming consoles. We didn't do a specific latency test with it when we had it last year, but it looks like it measures between 5 and 10 milliseconds, which is excellent. If those are your main hangups, ditch the TV with the bad color and go for the QM6K, especially while it's on sale. Because one thing I can tell you about 2026, prices are not going down for electronics. And if you're concerned about protecting your tech so you don't need to upgrade, I'd recommend keeping it all safe with today's video sponsor, Surfshark. Surfshark is an outstanding VPN, virtual private network, that protects your phone, laptops, TVs, really anything you want to keep away from online trackers, ads, and other nefarious players. Especially if you work on the go using a public Wi-Fi network, which often lack much, if any, real security and allow anyone onto that network, there's a lot of peace of mind in knowing your devices and information are safe. But also, for my fellow travelers, VPNs are great for being able to access servers in different countries and avoid geo restrictions. You know, that thing that stops you from pulling up your favorite show or streaming service because you're not in your home city. Surfshark has more than 4,500 servers in 100 countries, plus 24/7 customer service if you need help getting set up. Personally, I like the process so much that I started looking into their antivirus and Surfshark Alert, a tool that monitors for data leaks and alerts you when yours may be at risk. I don't have to tell you that your information is constantly being hunted online, so if you want to learn more about how Surfshark can keep everything safe, be sure to check the link in the description and use the code DTDEAL to get 4 extra months for free. Signing up is simple and comes with a 30-day money-back guarantee. Thanks again to Surfshark for sponsoring this video. TRAV800 is up next and says, I've never owned an OLED TV and I'm debating between the LG G5 and C5. Is the G5 worth the extra money? I'm gonna be honest with you and say, for you, probably not. And that sounds kind of rude when I say it out loud, so let me explain my reasoning. OLED TVs pretty much all look outstanding because of their superior contrast. The biggest difference you're gonna see on the surface is brightness. And if you don't need the extra punch of brightness to battle lots of ambient light in your room, you should be good with the C5. Really, the only other big difference is the color volume, and for that, you'd really need to put them side by side, and even then, I think when you look at them dollar for dollar, you'd be happy saving money with the C5. It's a gorgeous TV. I'd say that a lot of those top-of-the-line OLEDs, especially for what they cost, may be best suited for big pockets, absolute purists, and those who want to see a difference in their OLED upgrade. Otherwise, TVs like the LG C5 and Samsung S90F are going to be the sweet spot for high-level picture quality and value, at least in terms of OLED. And actually, that brings us right into our next question from Rob Ramsey. His reads, I currently have a 77-inch LG Z3 and I've been enjoying it, but I want to know if I'm missing out on brighter OLEDs. Should I replace it with the A95L or LG G6? And will I notice that much of a difference? Is it worth replacing? So I'm gonna tap into some parenting advice that I got when our kid was born a few years ago. And I think it actually does apply to tech upgrades across the board, not just TV. So stick with me here. And yes, parents, feel free to steal this philosophy too. You cannot make a happy baby happier. And I'm not calling you a baby. I'm just saying, like, if you're happy, you can't get happier. So in terms of tech, if you are happy with your device, ask yourself, what could possibly make it better? To give the information you're asking for, both TVs are brighter. Both TVs will have a little more HDR punch because their peak brightness is higher. I think you would notice a difference side by side, but is it worth replacing? No. I think you save your money for a day when your TV is actually no longer enjoyable, and then you replace it. We can't do anything about your FOMO levels, but try to resist the marketing for the latest and greatest, biggest and brightest, best ever TV that will only be replaced with another model next year that's even better and brighter. Plus, the longer you hold out and continue enjoying the TV that you're already happy with, the bigger the leap will be when you eventually do upgrade. Just my opinion. That's all we got for this week, folks. But speaking of LG, if you do want to see more of what they've been up to, be sure to check out the latest videos from FaZe, one of the new hosts at Digital Trends, who recently paid a visit to LG headquarters. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you again soon.